Jamal Murray. Deron Williams.
Jamal Murray.
Deron Williams. Jamal Murray. Deron Williams.
Under a minute to go. Denver using some clock here.
Harris
Jokic
goes into
finding
Deron
Murray.
Williams.
Murray, does he get another one? You bet he does! And that might be the target.
Deron Williams wins the game.
On this episode of NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two talented guards with tremendous versatility from their respective eras.
This player is often overlooked because of his perennial MVP teammate. Not anymore.
Their games flashy but fundamental.
Who's the best Jazz point guard in the modern era since John Stockton? You're about to find out.
They made their mark in a Midwestern kind of way.
From killer crossover to nasty pull-up jumpers, these two easily put their opponents on skates.
We are excited to present to you Jamal Murray and Deron Williams. I'm Uriah.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Ben.
And we are here to talk NBA
Now and Then.
Okay, we are back. We have a fun comparison. Two players that really have a lot of skill. But let's start with an overview, and I'm going to go to Lucas first. Deron Williams and Jamal Murray. Why are we comparing these two players today?
Because, in my opinion, they are the two most overlooked guards in their generation in terms of overall skill and not given the proper due for it, just because their respective conferences are so overloaded with talent.
Great point. Really great point. Maurice, what about you?
Yeah, to Lucas's point, both are overlooked, but they both have kind of like the same archetype of player. Both of them facilitate well, but they kind of get overshadowed by the talent around them as well.
Ben, what about you?
Yeah, I think they both get overlooked because of other guards of their era and kind of being number two options, but they both play winning basketball. Deron Williams did well in the playoffs, and obviously Jamal Murray. But yeah, that's kind of like, you don't really think of them because they kind of just play well within the system as a point guard.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything that everyone said. I look at these players, I look at their really great college careers. I also look at the fact that when you watch them play, their movement, their style, their attention to detail when it comes to various aspects of playing basketball, whether it's passing, dribbling, or driving the lane. I think they're one and the same player. And I think the whole idea of being from their conference, Western Conference, but more specifically, the market that they're in. You're looking at Denver and Utah. It's kind of a rough market to get a lot of credit when credit is due when, you're out in that part of the country. But anyway, so let's get to our comparison.
First quarter. Background.
The fundamental question we have for everyone that we're trying to answer is, which player today is most like Deron Williams? Well, it's time to talk about Blue Arrow, a.k.a. Glitch. Before he got those nicknames, he was born Jamal Murray on February 23rd, 1997 in Kitchener, Ontario, which is about an hour's drive from Toronto. Now, as a 3-year-old kid, Murray would play basketball for hours. And by the time he turned 6, he was playing in a league with kids 4 years older than him. When Jamal Murray was 12, he started playing against top high school and college players in pickup games. Little random trivia here. Jamal Murray's dad would obviously have his son doing basketball drills, right? Who can name the other kinds of exercises that Murray's dad put him through? I'll give you 3 options: scuba diving, kung fu, or volleyball. I think for some reason Lucas knows the answer. Ben, what do you go with?
Scuba diving.
Maurice?
Volleyball seems too obvious, so I'm going to go kung fu.
And Lucas?
It's kung fu.
All right. Ben, you are incorrect. The answer was kung fu.
Where are you going to scuba dive in Canada? Yeah, it's true. It's a good
Well,
point.
you can scuba dive in a swimming pool. That's how people learn, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious where Lucas knows that from. You want to give away your source?
ESPN did a documentary on Jamal Murray before Team Canada went into the
I can't slide anything past Lucas. He's not going to get this.
anything modern, like anything past like 2007. I feel like I'm pretty on top of for the most part.
All right. So, here's a cool fact on Jamal Murray. So he wrote an article for the Players Tribune, and he mentioned that his dad used to have him shooting free throws blindfolded. Sometimes his dad would hold the ball for like an entire minute before he even gave the ball back. And Murray said that these types of drills help teach him mental discipline, being patient, and all that kind of necessary stuff that helps you be successful in like really stressful game situations. Now, he mentioned the first martial arts movie that he ever watched with his dad. I would be shocked if Lucas knows this one, unless he just has a good guess. So what was that movie? Was it Five Deadly Venoms, Enter the Dragon, or Rush Hour? Maurice?
Five Deadly Venoms.
Ben?
Rush Hour.
And Lucas?
I'm going to go with Enter the Dragon.
All right. Maurice, you are correct.
Really?
It's a Kung Fu classic movie.
Yeah.
I've watched a few Kung Fu movies.
Enter the Dragon's the one with Chuck Norris, right?
No, Bruce Lee.
That's Bruce Lee.
Okay.
Boy, I think Chuck Norris is in one of those.
Yeah, he is.
He
is.
No, but in the article, he really went into depth of the things that would flesh out during watching this Kung Fu movie. He said he really didn't know what was going on, but the way his dad would talk to him, it was really interesting. So in the same article, as I just said, he reminisced with conversations that he had with his dad. And his dad would say things like, and I quote, "Do you see how good his balance is?" My dad would always zero in on really specific stuff like that. Everything had a potential lesson. In high school, Murray was a 4-star prospect out of the Athlete Institute Basketball Academy. He was ranked the 7th best guard in all of Canada and the 30th best player of the 2015 class, according to 24/7 Sports Ratings. So let's I'll come to you guys. What stands out to you about his childhood or his high school career? Let's go with Ben first.
I kind of am familiar with Ontario a little bit, and Kitchener's it's a small town, so it would be like just kind of like a random suburb. It sounds like his dad trained him really well. It's just surprising that he developed into the player he is, and went to Kentucky. Like, you have to be really good. So, yeah, it's just a small suburban town. Yeah, it's surprising how good he got in that community. Not that matters, but you know what I mean. Like it's about with basketball. It's about the AAU system must be great up there too. So
yeah, well, it's just like when we compared Steve Nash. He was from Canada too, and it's not as basketball is not what it is up there as it is down here. So the competition probably was not as, I guess, as challenging as it would be in the States.
It's gotten better from what I understand. Like you're seeing all these kids come out of like the suburbs of Toronto, Andrew Wiggins, SGA. There's a lot of guys now that are coming out since Vince Carter, actually. It's called the Carter effect. But it's, just how good these guys are is what's shocking.
Yeah. Lucas, what about you? What stands out?
I mean, just the fact that he had such an involved father, I think that's really cool. Because most of the guys we talk about on here, usually their dads aren't that involved, and it's good to see that he did have that opportunity.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's inspiring to know that a dad could connect with his son through kung fu movies, and then somehow, some way, apply it to another sport that his son loves, which is basketball. What about you, Maurice?
Yeah, that influence from the father really helps a lot. And, being a recruit and a 5-star player from Canada, and you're not the main guy, you're not even the top, top 6?
He was the 7th best guard. And he was a 4-star prospect, but
4-star,
but I get your point. Yeah.
Yeah, just being a prospect from Canada, not always looked as like the main, international stop when it comes to talented players, but his hard work just to leap in front of all the other talented players from Canada and, go to Kentucky, It says a lot about his upbringing, how he was raised and trained by his father.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now let's go to the college days of Jamal Murray. So in a Sports Illustrated article, it was noted that Murray narrowed his college choices down to Oregon, Michigan, and Kentucky. Of course, we all know he chose to be a Wildcat under John Calipari. Now, in Murray's only year, he played one season with Kentucky. He averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Over under, Lucas, 3-point percentage, 41%. Over under.
I'm going to say under.
Ben?
Over.
And Maurice?
Over.
All right, Lucas, you are correct.
Hey, there we go.
All right, you were close. It was 40.8%, but that's still good for a college player. So at the time, the 20 points per game for Murray were the most by any freshman in Kentucky history and the most for any player under John Calipari. Murray's scoring average was the most by a Calipari-coached player since DeJuan Wagner averaged 21 points per game in the 2001-2002 season at Memphis. Nationally, Murray's scoring average ranked second among all freshmen. As a freshman, Murray made 113 three-pointers, second most in Wildcat history behind Jody Meeks. His 113 three-pointers is also second most by a freshman in NCAA history. Who has the most in NCAA history as a freshman? Ben?
Reggie Miller.
Maurice?
That's tough. I'll go with still Ben's answer, say Reggie Miller as well.
All right. Lucas?
I'm going to say J.J. Redick.
All right. Nice try. You guys are all wrong. The answer is Steph Curry.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
See,
Okay.
I was going to go with that. I thought that was too easy.
No, it was sometimes they are that easy. So,
Yeah.
So Steph Curry, obviously, as a freshman, most three-pointers. In 2016, he entered his name into the NBA draft, where he was chosen by the Denver Nuggets.
With the 7th pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Jamal Murray from Kitchener, Canada, and the University of Kentucky.
Another player with an international background who grew up in Canada, played a year for the Wildcats.
Well, all I've got to say is
I'm just happy to be with a great organization and part of the NBA now. It's been 19 years waiting for this moment, so it's a big experience. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for choosing me. This is Jamal Murray, going to Denver. Shout out to my pops, my family.
Maurice, let's go to you first. What stands out to you about his college career at Kentucky?
First of all, that Kentucky team was actually really good. They had a couple players that go to the NBA as well. Lucas might know his name better than Scal Labissiere. Did I say it right?
It's Scal Labissiere. So, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tyler Ulis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a really good team in Kentucky, too. It was good that he got the spotlight he did, coached very well, coached by a great. So, in watching that tournament, I saw the potential. Actually speaking, I said one of his comps coming into the draft was Deron Williams. So, here we are.
Okay. Nice. Ben, what about you?
I just looked at the draft. That was a good draft. The fact that he wasn't, given what you just said, going to Kentucky and averaging over 20 points a game. And not that only going 7th is, but I feel like it should have been a little higher given that. And so I'm not sure why he didn't get a little bit more respect in the draft. I mean, 7th is still very high, but I think he should have gone over a few of those players.
And Lucas.
Hindsight's 2020 on the draft, always. You could argue that it was the 2016 draft, right?
Yes, that was when Ben Simmons went up.
Yeah, so you could argue
Ingram. There's a lot of people were tanking for some of these players.
Yeah, so you could argue that he probably should have been top 3, but hindsight's 2020. It is what it is there.
Yeah, I think what stands out to me is when you watch him in college, he's essentially the same player as he is in the pros. He was so polished, and knowing that his dad instilled in him a discipline and the whole blindfolded shooting free throws, I've never heard that before. And it just now when you watch him play, it's it makes so much sense. He's so confident. and he seems so under control and so balanced. You look at some of his acrobatic shots from college and pros. He's really, really got a little bit more than the average player. I can't put my finger on it, but and I forgot how good offensively he was in college. So kudos to him.
He defers, and I think Deron Williams is the same thing, and it could be because he played in Kentucky with other. But the thing with Jamal Murray is he does this thing where he'll defer. You see it a little with Jimmy Butler too. He'll defer to be a number 2 in a way that is very seamless, and he's cool with it. And I think that requires such a maturity, and so many players don't have that. And he'll just be like, "No, I'm going to get 40 tonight. No, it's just a 16-10 night for me." And he just, that's why that team is successful.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, the other side of this comparison is D. Will. But before he got that nickname, he was born Deron Michael Williams on June 26, 1984 in Parkersburg, West Virginia. It's Lucas's neck of the woods.
Oh, it's close enough. It's about 4 hours.
Yeah. His mom, Denise Smith, was a collegiate athlete at West Liberty State College in West Virginia. What sport do you guys think she played? 2 of them. What do you think? Maurice?
Track.
All right, give me another one.
Another one side track. I'll go with the obvious volleyball.
All right, so track and volleyball. Ben?
Swimming and soccer.
Okay, and Lucas?
Track and swimming.
Track and swimming. Okay. No one said basketball, so I'm gonna give you all a. Everyone's like volleyball, soccer, swimming.
Overthunk it.
Yeah. Yeah. So she played basketball and volleyball. She did play volleyball. D. Will's personal assistant and special projects coordinator, Matt Mitnick, was interviewed for the Deseret News magazine, and he said that he played on some teams where he was always the leading scorer, but he could have been the only scorer, Smith said. There were kids that couldn't even make layups and stuff, and in 4th and 5th grade, I was always yelling at him to pass the ball. Now, of course, D. Will played AAU basketball. Who can guess? This is a really great nugget here. I'll be shocked if anybody gets it. Who was his AAU coach? It was a former player that played point guard for the Mavericks in the 90s.
Jason Kidd?
No, not Kidd. He also played for the Knicks. That should get you over the hump. Point guard for the Mavs in the 80s and for the Knicks in the early 90s. Initials DH.
Derek Harper?
Derek Harper, you got it.
Wow, nice.
Good job. I'll give you that. All right. Yeah, that was his coach. He got coached by a pro player. Cool, right? So let's fast forward to high school. According to Slam Magazine, D. Will was barely considered one of the top 50 best high school players. Matter of fact, D. Will was not even the best player on his high school team. It was a player named Bracy Wright. Anybody ever hear of Bracy Wright?
Nope.
No?
I have, actually. Did you go to, I know him from college. Did you go to, Wisconsin maybe or something like that?
I think he went to a good school. I think he ended up playing overseas at some point. But the point is D. Will was overshadowed by this player named Bracy Wright. D. Will was more of a facilitator running the offense. When D. Will finally did get recruited, he got letters from UNC and Arizona, but he chose Illinois because the guard spots for those schools, they got filled up real quick. So Raymond Felton, I'm sure you guys know he played for UNC, and then Salim Stoudemire went to Arizona. I don't remember that name.
I do.
I remember him. Yeah.
You know Salim Stoudemire? Okay.
He was an undersized guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's related to Damon Stoudemire.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Okay. So any thoughts on Deron Williams' pre-college days, Maurice?
Well, I think his intent was to go to, I know it wasn't Illinois, his first intent to go to Illinois. I knew that.
Right.
But it worked out well. He was coached by, I'm going to say he was coached by Bill Self his first year.
Yes.
And then Bruce Weber.
Good grab, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that. I remember later on, we'll talk about it later, but later on, Deron Williams had some different coaches coach him. So I remember that. But he was coached by 2 great coaches. Hey, this is a pattern now. He's been coached by some great coaches, and even the AAU with Derek Harper. So go from that to 2 great college coaches, and he played with a great Hall of Fame pro coach.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
It's interesting. You mentioned even in high school, he played with a guy that was considered better than. I remember he at Illinois watching that team, and like he had another guard on his team, and they were known as like the best backcourt in the country.
Oh gosh, I remember that. I can't remember who was the other guard.
But he was technically initially like a better than him, they said. And then I remember watching and then it being like, Deron Williams was like, well, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And he kind of came out of nowhere. And so that's kind of what I remember about him. And so it's interesting. That was kind of his journey. And similarly to Jamal Murray, he just played his part as a point guard.
Yeah.
And was very just casual, but then you really feared his shot is what I remember. But yeah, that's kind of what stands out is the fact that he always had another good teammate.
Yeah. Lucas, anything?
I guess I didn't realize that Bill Self coached him.
I forgot that too.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he was there before he went to Kansas. That's the main thing. I mean, look, all the coaches, he's had pretty good luck there.
Yeah. Now, according to the Fighting Illini website, Deron Williams is the most internationally decorated Illinois player in school history. He played there for 3 years. He left after his junior year. And his numbers, as we keep mentioning, very modest because he was never really the top option on their team. So he averaged 11 points, 3 boards, and almost 6 assists. Over under field goal percentage, just field goal percentage at Illinois, over under 45%. Maurice.
Over.
Lucas.
Over.
And Ben.
Under.
All right, Ben, you are correct.
Really?
He only shot 42%. Only 42%. So he led the Illini to the national championship game in a 37-win season, which was a school record. D-Well credits Bruce Weber from Illinois with helping him expand his game. After Bill Self left at the end of his freshman year, D-Will said in the Slam magazine interview, "I got used to his motion offense. It helped me take off. He let me play with a lot of freedom, and my confidence just soared through the roof that year." All right, you guys want to hear some quick tournament stats that he had?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
All right, so you guys remember watching that championship game? I remember watching that game. That was a really interesting, cool game. 2002, 2003, that was his first time in the tournament. Illinois won their first round game against Western Kentucky. He had 11 points. Then they lost to Notre Dame, where he scored just 5 points. Now, the following season, where he helped lead his team to the championship, they lost to UNC 75-70, and his highest point total in the tournament that year, over under 30 points. Maurice.
I'm going to go over.
Lucas.
I'm going to go with him again, go over.
And Ben.
Over.
All right, you're all correct. Yes. So D-Will had 31 points against Cincinnati. All right, now that I gave you some more details about college, anything stand out to you, Maurice?
Well, they lost to North Carolina. I do remember that. That was a good North Carolina team.
Was that the Sean May team?
Sean May? It sounds about right. Or Tyler Hansborough, one of those teams.
Hansborough was way afterwards.
After?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We can look.
Wasn't it Rain? Was it the Felton? No, that was
no.
Probably because they were kind of brought into college at the same time.
Yeah, I think it was the Raymond Felton team. Yeah, North Carolina's had so many good point guards. You just think of yeah. Wait, no, who is that guy? No, that's not Forte. No, he was before them.
I don't remember him.
I don't remember offhand.
Yeah.
But I do remember the game he had in the Final Four. Gosh, I can't remember the team offhand. You remember it, Lucas?
That was a little bit before I started watching NCAA on a regular basis. I'm just based.
I remember that game. I
don't
remember that
the team,
tournament.
but I do remember that was a game that put him on the map. That raised his draft stock a lot. I don't remember the team offhand. I'll grab it.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anything stand out?
I mean, just the fact that he had a lot of college success, and that explains why he went so high.
Yeah, what Maurice just said is kind of like college basketball used to. I don't know. I'm just older. We're older, but it seemed to be a lot more popular back then.
It was,
and the way it was broadcast, it was a tryout. Basically, these guys, how you performed kind of in the tournament was. I mean, obviously Steph Curry, but Deron Williams was he jumped real high because of his success in the tournament, I remember.
Now, Lucas mentioned the draft, and yes, he was drafted by the Utah Jazz.
With the third pick in the 2005 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Deron Williams from the University of Illinois.
A little drama there as you look at Deron Williams' young daughter sitting there. This moment of happiness for Deron Williams, the number 3 pick out of Illinois. Back-to-back Williams taken. We now have 10 players named Williams in the NBA, more than any other. But this one made a name for himself.
It's funny, that guy was like, Deron Williams.
Marvin Williams was the other one drafted.
It was Marvin Williams.
It was Marvin Williams.
And the Final Four game was Louisville, by the way.
Louisville? Okay.
So it was D. Brown was the guy, and Luther Head.
D. Brown. Yeah.
I remember that team, and they all were drafted, actually.
I remember Luther Head in the NBA. Not
they
that
all
good,
were like
but...
point guards too. But D. Brown was the guy. I remember, like, he was the guy initially that was supposed to. He was really exciting, and then Deron Williams was better.
Yeah.
Second quarter. Statistics.
Then the handoff. Now the shot clock at 2. The mismatch on Evans.
He didn't. Jamal Murray, don't do him like that.
These Nuggets have all been together for the most part. Now he goes, and oh my goodness, what a basket! Jamal Murray, how'd he get that one to go as LeBron?
Jamal Murray, he's got 20 points on the night. He's able to turn the corner on Adams. Boy, the acrobatic spin off the backboard.
That's a tough shot.
Murray, reverse layup is a beauty, and one. Now a little bit late whistle. Chris got the body. Murray inside, incredible.
So those were the highlights. Here are the stats for Jamal Murray. Murray is listed at 6'4", 215 pounds. The Denver Nuggets have gone through a different iteration of their uniform, but both times he has worn number 27. And let's go with his best season, which as of right this moment was last season. He averaged 20 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, while shooting 45.5% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, and 83% from the foul line. And then if we go to game highs here, over-under, 49 points as a career high. I'll start with Uriah.
49 points?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Playing next to Jokic? I would say yes. I'd say higher, above.
Okay.
Over.
Ben?
Is that regular season or playoff?
We're counting regular season.
Oh, then no, it's not. He doesn't. It's below that.
Below? Okay. Maurice?
I've been going over all day. I'll keep going over.
Okay. Well, Ben, you are incorrect. It is 50 points as a career high during the regular season, though, because Ben brought up the playoffs, I will bring up the playoffs as well. It's actually 50 for both. Both regular season and playoffs. Because we know Murray as a playoff performer, would you guys like me to tell you his best playoff run?
Sure.
Go for it.
Why not?
Okay. So his best postseason run, this is actually pretty hard to define, but I'm going to go with the bubble season.
Oh, yeah.
The bubble season. He averaged, and this is just, honestly, just differs basically off of shooting percentages. But, well, yeah, he barely missed 50, 40, 90 in the playoffs, both of the last 2 seasons, barely by like 1 percentage point in different categories. But in the bubble season, he averaged 26.5 points, 6.5 assists, essentially 5 rebounds. He shot 50% from the field, 45% from the three-point line, and 89.7% from the free throw line. So essentially 50, 40, 90 if you round up. I do want to say during the championship run last year, he averaged 26 points, 7 assists, essentially 6 rebounds, shooting 47% from the field, 39.6, so 39.5 from the three-point line, and 92% from the foul line.
Wow.
Going back to other game highs here, he's had a game high 12 rebounds, 15 assists, 6 steals, 3 blocks, 9 turnovers. So, let me start with Maurice on this one. Maurice, what is your reaction to all this?
Anytime you mention 50, 40, 90, that tells me he's efficient. And because he's on a team with another highly efficient player, it kind of gets overshadowed, which has kind of been the name of this podcast where we compare Jamal Murray to Deron Williams. It kind of goes unnoticed because, they have a great team and their chemistry is great and they're champions. Throughout Jamal Murray's career, he's had some injuries, so he kind of gets overlooked for that. But that's really efficient. I learned something new
That's just the playoffs. He hasn't gotten close to 50, 40, 90 in the regular season. But in the playoffs,
when your game's supposed to go up,
he definitely shows up. Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan? What do you think?
Yeah, just to piggyback on Maurice a little bit, that when it matters most, those numbers increase. 26 points average in the NBA Finals? That is, but of course, Jokic gets all the attention because Jokic is an amazing player. He's MVP twice. So I think us giving a little shine to Jamal Murray in this episode, I think it's long overdue. The one stat that stood out to me, you mentioned, Lucas, was the averaging 40% from three. A lot of players average that, but I'm connecting it to my segment where he averaged 40% in college. And I said it before, I'll say it again. The player he was in college is pretty much the same player he is in the pros. Just he had his threshold of maturation probably was like, it's like a flash, like boom, all of a sudden he's just good. And that comes from his upbringing, his discipline. And again, like in the bubble, I just want to mention, it's no wonder that he averaged what he did in the bubble because his numbers were off the charts. And that's where he has that highlight where he does that Michael Jordan reverse layup. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think
I could watch that highlight a million times. But yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, Ben, what do you think?
I mean, the playoffs, it's just kind of like, you kind of see it with Jokic when Murray isn't playing. That team's just like, it's not the same. I think they gentlemen swept in the first round one year while Murray was out. He's just as important to that Denver team as Jokic is in the playoffs. And just kind of how he rises to the occasion and the efficiency, just knows his role. Yeah, to me, he's kind of an underrated shooter. I know that's like a weird thing to say because he is a good shooter, but people don't realize how good of a shooter he is.
Well, for his career, he's shooting 37.7% from the three-point line. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty high marks for a guy that's averaging about 5.5 attempts per game.
And Ben, he's not just a spot-up, wide-open jump shooter. He creates off the dribble. He takes really
tough shots,
dribble
highly
handoffs,
contested shots. Yeah, so he has amazing skill as a shooter in any situation.
Real quick though, and I asked this the last episode. Do we consider Jamal Murray a point guard or a shooting guard?
Ooh, well,
point guard for me. Because
I say point guard too.
In that offense, I think he's more of a two, but that's just my opinion.
So when he first came into the league, I saw him as a two. That's what I first saw him. And his first two seasons kind of played that out. He averaged about 2 assists a game his first season, 3.5 his second season. Look, I think he has turned into a point guard in what today's definition of a modern point guard is. But he's not the floor general that you would suspect most point guards to be. That's for sure. I mean, look, he's averaging 6.5 assists this season. Yeah. And we don't really cover this season stats, but he's averaging 6.5 assists this season with the best passing big man of all time. So
yeah,
I think he has grown into the point guard role. But when he first came into the league, no, he was a shooting guard. Absolutely.
Okay.
Williams over the top to Memo. Ronnie Brewer on the dribble to drive. Back out front, Williams. 5 to play. Yes! Deron Williams! 30 for Williams and a timeout.
This time last year, the Jazz were 5-0.
Williams, beautiful move. 24 for Williams. Can he bring the Jazz back? That with Williams, 10 on the shot clock. 3-point shot, Deron Williams. But the lead is now 10. Williams at the buzzer. Baked it! Got it! Three-pointer! Once again, Williams may just load him on his back.
So that was Williams' highlights. Let's get into the numbers here. So Williams was listed at 6'3", 200 pounds. The 200 pounds kind of surprises me because I remember him being so stocky and being one of the strongest point guards of that time, just with big shoulders and everything. So only 200 pounds feels a little bit light to me, if I'm being honest. That being said, he wore number 8 for all but one stop in his career. And he wore 31. Does anybody want to guess what team it was that he wore 31 on?
I think I know this. Is it Brooklyn?
Yeah, I wore 8 on Brooklyn. I don't know what other team, that European team he played for.
No. These are all NBA teams.
I actually don't know what other team he played for besides Utah or Brooklyn. So okay. I guess I'll go with Brooklyn too.
Okay. Maurice?
Well, he played with Dallas, and then he played with Cleveland. My answer is Cleveland.
Uriah, what you said? What team again?
No, I said Brooklyn, so I'm wrong.
Okay. The answer is Cleveland. Maurice is right.
Yep.
Yeah, Cleveland. He wore 31 on. Did Cleveland retire number 8, or was somebody else wearing number 8 when he got there?
That's a good question. I had to look it up.
Because it was during LeBron James' second stint there. It was, I think, 2016-17, so the year that they won the championship. I don't think he was a part of that run, though. I mean, he was on the team, but he didn't play. Anyway, not the point here. Now, let's get into his best season. Well, we're going to go with the 2009-2010 season, and we're going to go with this. Not the highest scoring season of his career, but I think the most impressive. So, he averaged 18.5, almost 19 points a game, 10.5 assists. He averaged 4 rebounds, 1.3 steals, and he shot 47% from the field, 37% from the three-point line. He shot 80% from the free throw line. Now, he's had higher scoring seasons, but I think overall that was his best season. That being said, we go to his career highs. Career high in points, 57. Now, can you tell me which team he was on when he scored 57?
Whoa, I didn't know he scored 57.
Yeah, 57, career high. What team was he on?
I'm going to say Brooklyn.
I'm going to say Utah.
It seems too easy to go Utah, so I'm going to go with Ben and say Brooklyn.
Ben and Uriah, you are partially right. He was on the Nets, but he was not in Brooklyn. He was in New Jersey still.
Oh,
oh my goodness. You know what? This is for you, Lucas.
Oh, come on. Okay, anyway, so yeah, he scored 57 in the 2011-2012, his first full season with the Nets, still in New Jersey at that point. It's really interesting with assists here. So, over-under 20 assists as a career high. I'm going to start with Maurice.
Under.
Ben.
Under.
Uriah.
I'm going to say over.
Uriah is correct. He had 21 as a career high.
Over.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really interesting, though. You know how many seasons he had 20-plus assists in? So he had 21 assists in 2 separate seasons here. 2 separate seasons. But he had 20 assists as season highs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons.
Wow. Wait. So he had 20-plus assists in a game in 5 different seasons.
Yeah. He also had 19 in another one. And then between 16 and 14 for the majority of his remaining seasons. Actually, his lowest career season high for assists was 13 his rookie year.
This is why we do this, because I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's a good grab. I didn't know that.
Career high in rebounds is 9. Career high in steals is 6. Career high in blocks is 4. Career high in turnovers is only 10. And that didn't happen until his last season. And then, of course, Uriah's favorite stat, 6 fouls as a career high. Don't think I forgot about that one, Uriah. Anyway, so let me start with Ben here. What do you think of these stats?
The 57's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't remember that.
If I remember, that Nets team was still. I think that was before. That was definitely before the KG Paul Pierce trade.
Yeah, it feels very much like a Corey Brewer 50-point game, just on a bad team. Someone's got to score.
Was Joe Johnson even on that team yet, guys? I don't think he was he?
I think that team
the year later.
Yeah,
I feel like that team. Was
it Brook Lopez? Was that his rookie year?
Yeah, because I think that team still was a fringe playoff team, right? They weren't tanking.
I don't have the team stuff in front of me here. I can't rightfully say, but I don't think they were. They were definitely not world beaters that year. That's for sure.
No. Yeah, I don't think they made the playoffs.
Well, I know that the trade to get Deron Williams, they sent their 3rd overall pick, Derek Favors, over. So there's that too. So they were still in rebuilding mode. I think you're right. That was his highest points per game season, by the way, 21 points per game. That was his season high in terms of points per game. I mean, career high in terms of points per game that season. So anyway, the 57 points per game. What about you, Uriah? What do you take away from these numbers?
The initial stat that stood out was the 10.5 assists in his best season.
So he averaged 10 assists in 4 straight seasons.
Yeah, and that anytime a player can average that many assists for that many consecutive years, that tells you they have a really great perspective on team basketball. And in the system where Jerry Sloan coached John Stockton for decades, it makes sense that, and I think I remember watching or researching for this episode that the year that John Stockton retired, I think the next season they drafted Deron Williams. So they were looking for someone to come in and fill those shoes, big shoes to fill. Mm-hmm. And Deron Williams did it. And he did it without a Karl Malone. And that's no shot at Carlos Boozer. But Deron Williams was as good of a passer for what he had with him on that team. And I dare say he was a better scorer than John Stockton.
I mean, outside of his rookie season, he was averaging his rookie season, he averaged 4.5 assists, but he started a little bit more than half of the games that he played.
Okay.
His second season, he averaged 9 assists.
Right. That's a big jump.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah.
And he only got 8 more minutes per game. That's the difference.
There you go.
Yeah. I do remember his first season, he didn't start until about halfway through the season. But when he did start and when he had a full season under Jerry Sloan, he was an all-star player, in my opinion. I thought he was an all-star level player.
Second season, I mean, the numbers, you could argue second season, yeah.
Yeah, but as I'll get to in my section, the Western Conference was so tough back then. From about 2005 to 2010, it was tough sledding in the West.
Mm-hmm. Look, I don't want to take away from Ben's section, so I'm going to leave this comment to myself. But I will say this. Playing for Jerry Sloan definitely helped his playmaking numbers because after he went to the Nets, they dipped. And they continue the dip for pretty much every year after.
You can easily say the offense or the system that they had in Utah benefited him a lot. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, still a talented player regardless.
Yeah, it's still talented, absolutely.
Yeah,
he also dealt with a lot of injuries, too.
Yeah, I was going to say the assists, it kind of, both these players, what they have in common is they, kind of were drafted into, really good coaches and really good point guard systems. And, yeah, the assist numbers are pretty nuts. That I didn't realize that 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of to average over 10 plus.
He's a special player.
Him and Chris Paul were being compared as who was the better point guard prospect moving forward. Right. And granted, after he went to the Nets, that conversation went moot. But the point is that if you're in the same conversation as best point guard of that generation with the point god, then you know you're doing something right.
Hello.
Because I remember there was a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, Deron Williams is better. He's a better scorer, blah, 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 blah. He's just as good as a playmaker. So
He was drafted. He was drafted one spot before Chris Paul, so there was always that comparison.
Absolutely. And on that note, I'm going to do a dribble handoff off to Ben. Ben, go ahead, take it away, bud.
All right.
Third quarter, accolades.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's good? Let's get these questions going, man.
All right, Tanya here, second row on the left.
Tanya Ganguly, New York Times. Jamal, when Lisa started asking you about your journey over the last couple of years over on the stage, the crowd went nuts and you started getting tears in your eyes. What were you thinking about in that moment?
It was really hard to put into words. Still is. I couldn't even hold it in. You know, I don't know. I couldn't really hold it in. It was just a surreal moment, and everything was hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was hitting at once, from the journey to the celebration with the guys to enjoying the moment to looking back on the rehab to looking back as myself as a kid, as the other viewer. You know what I'm saying? Looking from the crowd in or from the camera lens in, and now be able to look back at them. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot. I couldn't hold it in. It was just something I've been working for my whole life. I think Mike said it, Porter. You know, this is everybody, every real hooper, you know, wants to be on this stage and playing the game and be in this moment. So to see it full circle, you know, going from my rehab, not being able to walk, go up the stairs, like not just for a month or two. You know what I'm saying? It was for a long time, and a lot of different things going through my head, a lot of tears, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and real ones.
All right, that was Jamal Murray. I believe accepting just kind of post winning the championship interview from this past season. They are the defending champs.
Yep.
So we're going to start off with his one season at Kentucky, his college accolades. As Uriah kind of said, he averaged over 20 points as a freshman, which was third in the SEC. And because of that, he was first team all SEC, which is actually pretty impressive for freshmen. He did not win freshman of the year, though. What other awards do you guys think he got in the SEC?
Was he a conference player of the year?
No.
Was he tournament play? SEC's tournament player MVP or tournament player of the year?
He was the mid-season Wooden Award winner.
Oh,
he was in the mid-season.
Oh, wow.
Mid-season, he was a Wooden Award, and he was also preseason predicted. But no, you guys, I'll give you a hint. He wasn't freshman of the year, but was he?
Not the freshman of the year, most improved freshman. I don't know. That's a weird.
It's a weird one, but it's the SEC all freshman team.
Oh,
yeah. And then he was the SEC all tournament first team. Pretty impressive, given like the SEC currently with all the players that are in that conference. So now we're going to go back over to his NBA career. Jamal Murray, because of that clip, he missed about a couple seasons, so he should have more awards, I would say. But I'm going to shoot this over. How many All-Star games has Jamal Murray been a part of?
I think none yet so far.
Yeah.
The answer is none.
Trick question.
0.
Yeah. He probably deserves one, though.
He definitely deserves one.
It's tough, though. It's the same thing with, like, we'll talk about Deron. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll stop.
I think like this year he deserves it given the team's record because he's a big part of that. So I think he's not getting the respect of his team's success.
Well, we could get into who should not be on the Western All-Star reserves because that's definitely an argument I would love to have, but we don't argue on this show. So
yeah. All right. Well, so this is I wouldn't say a younger player, but a player still kind of entering his prime. And because he's missed a couple seasons, his awards aren't very big. But let's list some of them off. So, what All NBA team was Jamal Murray a part of? Maurice.
You mean what year?
Yeah, was he ever an All NBA?
First, second, or third?
Yeah.
I want to say yes, and I want to say if I had to pick a year, it would be 2021.
Okay. Uriah?
I'm going to say yes, he did make an All-NBA, and I'll go with Maurice that same season.
Lucas.
Now, are we using All-NBA loosely, or are we using it strictly like the actual All-NBA? Like any all-blank awards?
Any.
All-rookie team.
Okay. Lucas is correct. Yeah, and guess what? He was not even... This poor guy gets kind of like... I don't want to say on, but All-NBA second team. He was the second team. Not all NBA All-Rookie second team. This guy has never made an All-NBA team. And he might be the most overlooked player. I know he's a playoff riser, but his regular season stats are really good. Jamal Murray was part of the All-NBA set. Now, that was a very stacked year. That was the Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Domantas Sabonis, Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield was in that draft? Oh, gosh. And
yeah,
Buddy Hield's 32, guys.
Buddy Hield was drafted over him. He was the 6th pick.
Wow.
Wow.
So a stat that I like is, or not a stat, but an accolade. So he's an NBA champion in 2023. We obviously know that. He did not win the MVP. He is BioSteel All-Canadian MVP in 2015.
BioSteel?
Not sure what that is, but it's a Canadian, like, basically All-Star Game MVP.
Sounds like a men's deodorant.
He's been part of the Canadian
BioSteel deodorant. It's Canadian.
It might be. It's like their Axe. Pan American.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Ben.
No, you're good.
Lucas is acting up right.
Pan American,
and it gives us good blooper reel stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not much to go with on this. So 2015 Toronto. He was in the Pan American Games.
Okay.
So on the Canadian team. FIBA, America's under 16. And he does represent, we did mention, he does represent Canada. So I actually think that the Canadian team with him and SGA could actually get a medal.
They're going to be a problem.
And
RJ.
They're going to be,
Lou
RJ,
Dort,
Kelly,
Mathurin,
Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, if they
had one more big man, I think they'd be a real problem.
Yeah, I actually think they could, depending on who plays for the American team, that they could potentially win it if everyone plays. An accolade I did want to mention, it's kind of in Lucas's category, is, and we recently just watched it, is he's one of the only players to ever average over 30 points on 50, 40, 90 in a series. And he's done it multiple times.
I believe it.
I
didn't break it down that far, but I believe that.
Yeah.
And it's a stat that is like, it's very hard to do in a 7-game series, and he's done it multiple times in his career.
Well, how long were each series? That's what I'm curious about. Were they?
I think a lot. I think one of them was a 7-game series because I believe one of them was that. Remember the Utah series was one of them.
Oh,
remember him and Donovan Mitchell, the bubble.
Yep.
So that was a full 7 games, and then the other one would have only been. It was against the Lakers, probably. So Lucas, that's a good. I believe it was the Lakers series, so it would have only been 4 games.
Here's another interesting comparison between those two, between Williams and Murray, is that they both have another guard contemporary in the same conference that they came in roughly the same time with. I think Donovan Mitchell was a year or 2 before, but like how they always get compared to, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Deron Williams, Chris Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. And then Donovan Mitchell was in the following year's draft.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about those awards? I'll start with Uriah.
So I'm going to start with the BioSteel Deodorant Award.
We got to find out what that is.
Yeah, that's your homework, Lucas, the BioSteel Award. No, to be honest, I think what stands out to me is the lack of awards. And I know we don't typically go there, but I'm going to go there because, look, Jokic is a phenomenal player. He's going to go down as one of the top centers ever, right? So it's not that you feel bad for Murray because I'm sure he's living his best life and, he has a championship already. He's not even 30. But I do feel like Deron Williams, like guys who get overlooked, and you just wonder if he played on another team where he was a number one option, what would his numbers look like? What accolades would he accumulate? And I would be willing to bet that if he was not playing with Jokic, he would have at least 1 or 2 All-Stars by now.
He might have, but the question is, would he be able to carry a team by himself?
I think so.
I don't know about that.
I think so. I think so as well.
I think he would. You know, it's interesting. We haven't mentioned this yet, but the market. I think the market is a big reason why.
They both have weird, mountainous markets.
Denver finally, I think the market just is not. It doesn't grab you. Both these markets are kind of weird, but Utah has a pretty good fan base. But I think that's probably hurt him with All-Star selections, All-NBA as well.
Yes, a good point.
Maurice, what stands out? I do like that this might be the most. What stands out is the lack of accolades. I like that, Uriah.
Yeah, I mean, it's consistent for this episode. They're both so overlooked, and for Jamal Murray, we see the true Jamal Murray in the playoffs. His statistics show it. They don't have that many awards for playoffs, but we see the true Jamal Murray in the playoffs. And I agree with Uriah. If Jamal Murray was the number one on the team, I think he would most definitely be more recognized with more accolades if that was the case.
If you replaced him with Trae Young, right? Would that Atlanta team be better? And I think they would. They would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they would, Lucas. They would.
Utah would not. Excuse me. And Denver would not be as good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
no diss to Trae Young, but
I think Trae Young is overrated, but that's for another episode for another day.
No, but it's not. I'm just saying, like a contemporary guard. If you were to switch them, but that just shows you his value is so underappreciated.
I mean, yeah. I look. I don't know, man. We'll see. I mean, I think it's not just that. I think it's the conference because the West does have. Well, yeah, they have better guards. I mean, if he was in the East, I think he'd be. If the Nuggets were an East team, could we make a case that he should have been an All-Star selection
this year? Probably,
yes.
Yeah,
probably, right?
Yeah,
so,
probably. Although, who made it?
It'd be tough this year, but last year for sure, right?
Yeah,
last year for sure. So
this year was Halliburton, Lillard.
Brunson.
The third one was Brunson.
Maxey. Yeah, I don't know. He might not have made it.
Yeah, he might not.
Yeah.
I mean, but it'd be a lot closer, right? Because there's like 3 or 4 other players before we get to Jamal Murray. And yes, 21 points and 6 assists should get you an All-Star. But in today's NBA, guess what? That is not an All-Star level stat line in today's NBA. You have to average at least 24 to 25 points as a guard to get into the All-Star game, which is crazy because Deron Williams, we'll get to him, but he averaged 4 assists and 10 assists in 4 straight years. And Ben will tell us how many All-Star appearances he had, but it's not going to be as many as you think.
Yeah, it's almost like he's fallen victim to the system.
Well, Darren, a lot of players set goals at the beginning of the year. Most of them are team-oriented, but yours were. But you also said, dang, I want to be an All-Star in my hometown. And you worked hard to it. Congratulations. You made it. What does it mean?
Well, thanks. It means a lot, especially because it's in my hometown. And my family gets a chance to come out and support me and see me in my first All-Star game. And, I'm just excited about the weekend in general.
How tough was it, though? Especially, maybe playing injured, not having the team play real well at times. You sit there and think, what am I going to do if I don't make that All-Star team? Am I going to go to Dallas? What am I going to do? Did you have moments like that?
Yeah, I thought about it. I was going to have to come here, for my got milk unveiling today. But I was probably going to go to Cabo after that. But I'm glad I'm in the game, and the reason I'm in the game is because my teammates played well, and we were able to get on a winning streak and, be in third place.
Plus, the flight to Cabo was canceled because of the bad weather. So you couldn't have gone anyway. So it's nice now you get to play. What about the skills competition? You're a former champion. Is that something that you practice, or is that just something that comes naturally?
There's no really way to practice for it. You can't really set up a skills challenge in the arena. But I look forward to getting out there again and trying to get my title back from Derek. I wasn't able to play last year because of my ankle. I needed to rest. So it's going to be fun to get back out there and try to get it back.
All right, so we're going to start off with Deron Williams' college stats. Uriah kind of went through that he has a pretty decorated college career. He did play 3 seasons, so he's from an era where guys stayed a little longer. Sorry. How many first-team All-Big Ten awards has Deron Williams been a part of? I'll start off with Lucas.
You said, repeat the question one more time.
How many times has he been first-team All-Big Ten?
Oh, Big Ten? Not NBA. We're still in college. Okay. I'm going to say twice.
Maurice.
Yeah, I was going to say twice as well.
And
yeah,
you're right.
I'll go twice.
You guys are all correct. He was first team in 03-04 and 04-05. He is the 2004 All Big Ten Tournament first team. He was the 2005 NCAA All Tournament team. He was All-American, but was he first, second, or third team? I'm going to start off with Uriah in 05, the 05 season right before he was drafted.
That's got to be first. Got to be first.
All right. And Lucas.
I feel like this is a trick question. I'm going to say second.
Maurice.
I'm going to go second as well.
All right. Uriah, you are wrong.
Hey.
And it's a very decorated career.
Chris Paul got first team, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Paul, I think it was Paul Felton, was he?
No, it was Paul. Mike Gansey was in that All-American conversation too, wasn't he?
Wow, that's a name I heard in a while.
He's actually
you have to look that
GM
up. It would be
the Cavs now.
Yeah, it'd be the 05. So yeah, he wasn't considered he wasn't. And then again, his rookie year, or his freshman year, his freshman year, he again, I told you he came in with 2 other guards that were drafted, D Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy, he was actually a first-round pick.
Luther Head.
Luther Head.
Yeah, Luther Head, yeah. So he was the assist. He led the Big Ten in assists 2 years in a row, 05, 04. He was 3 seasons in the top 20 in steals. So that's kind of his college career. Obviously, we know he played 3 seasons. So he had a very decorated career. He played with a lot of NBA players. And because of that, he was drafted 3rd overall. All right, we're going to start off with how many All-NBA teams has Deron Williams been a part of? I'm going to start off with you, Maurice. How many times has Deron Williams made an All-NBA team?
I know it's low. There's only 2 answers. I'm going to give him the positive benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say 3. Yeah, 3.
Uriah.
So Deron Williams, I want to say 4 All-NBA.
All right, Lucas.
I'm going to go with Maurice on this one.
All right, it's 2. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2. And it's interesting because he came in the league in 05. For some reason, I thought it was right away that he got them, but he didn't get them till his 4th season and then his 6th season. So they were from 2008 and 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember Deron Williams came in. Sorry, I did get that right. Deron Williams came in. That's my perennial Deron Williams. All right, so 2008-2010 season in one of his 6 seasons with the Jazz. And then he was a 3-time NBA All-Star, 3 years in a row, 2010, 2011, 2012. And then was he part of the All-NBA rookie team? And if so, which one? I'm going to start off with you, Uriah.
I'll go All-Rookie second team, just because I learned my lesson last time. Because Chris Paul was probably first team.
Yep. Maurice?
I'm going to go second team as well.
And Lucas?
I'm going to say no team.
Oh.
Okay. He actually was first team with Chris.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a really good rookie year, and he was up for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, give him more credit than that, Lucas. Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he didn't start for half the seasons.
I thought Lucas was going to say he won the Bio Steel Rookie Award.
Wouldn't that be something? Deron Williams, first recipient of the Bio Steel Award. I'm very honored to get this award. Okay, I'm done.
So Deron Williams played. He kind of was. I think it had to do probably with the team being good. They probably rewarded that. But he was on playoff teams. Like his second year, his team made the Western Conference Finals in his second year.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he played.
Was a really good team. I can't wait until Maurice gets to talk about that.
Who did they go up against? I can't remember. Do you remember?
Know who it was.
Was it the
07
or Lakers?
It would have lost. Who won the chip that year in 07? It would have been the Spurs.
Spurs.
So the Spurs.
Wow.
And they took them to, but I don't think they were swept. But outside of his final season where he was kind of just like chasing a ring with the Cavs, that was, believe it or not, his second year was his most successful playoff season. And he played really well. So similarly, he like Jamal Murray was a playoff riser. And that's about it. I went through his college accolades. There's a couple awards that I would say are his biggest kind of credentials.
Wait a second. Did we do All-Star games?
We did. I said 3 in a row.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to give that. What I wanted to do is I think these are probably his biggest awards. And I'm going to go with it's going to be 2 teams he made. What do you think they are? I'm going to start with Maurice. Deron Williams' kind of biggest accomplishment.
Oh, I know what it is.
I think I know too.
Did he lead the league in assists?
He did, but that's not it. No, he didn't. He actually never led the league in assists.
No, he didn't. I was about to say, he didn't.
And what's crazy is he averaged 13 assists one year and he didn't lead it.
He averaged 12 assists when he was on the Nets after he got traded.
12.8.
Yeah, when he got traded. But that season as a whole, he averaged 10.3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just say he definitely made an Olympic team.
Yeah, he was on the Olympic team with LeBron and Carmelo. The Redeem team, was it?
Yeah, so you guys are all correct. He was on 2 Olympic gold medal teams. Yeah. He's part of the Redeem team, actually. Yeah. The Kobe, LeBron. So that I think is really special. And then he was brought back in 2012. So he won 2 gold medals with the Olympic Games. And yeah, just being part of that Redeem team is pretty unbelievable. And that's going to go down in history as like one of the greatest. I mean, that team just destroyed everyone. They were on a mission after that failed 04 team.
Guys, hang on. Pause for a second. Can we do a comparison with the Dream Team and the Redeem Team as an episode?
Of course. Yeah, of course. Why not?
I feel like that would be a really good one.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's pretty much it. His jersey was retired by the University of Illinois.
Did he wear 8 there or a different number?
He wore number 5.
Oh,
number 5 actually. Yeah,
interesting. So
someone must have been number 5 when he went to Utah, and then he played for this team called Besiktas. Pardon my pronunciation. He played with them in the 2011 season. So
during the lockout, during the lockout, right?
Yes,
yeah,
short season.
Yeah, that's right. That was during the lockout. That's a good one, Lucas. All right, I'm going to start off with Uriah. What stands out?
I think the All-Stars. He didn't rack it up like some of the other prolific stars, but multiple-time All-Star, consecutive years during a time period where you had the Spurs, the Lakers, the Nuggets, very competitive conference during his era. A lot of great point guards in his era, and he stood out. And the one thing that I love seeing his highlights are not just his passes, but his drives, his crossover, his pull-up jumpers. He was such a smooth player to watch, and I'm just glad that we're able to shed some light on some of his achievements.
All right, Lucas, what stands out?
I mean, the fact is that he averaged 10 assists for 4 straight years, only made the All-Star game the last 2 of those years. He made only 3 All-Star appearances. Granted, like I said in the stats, his stats started to go down once he went to the Nets. I attribute that to injury and just the weight of expectation. I remember watching a short little documentary about him saying how it was not good for his mental health to be in with the Nets. That really brought down his game. But no, look, the fact is that when he came into the West, you had prime Kobe Bryant. You had Tracy McGrady coming over to the Rockets. You had Tony Parker. You had, I'm trying to think of who else was still in their prime there.
Well, the MVP.
The MVP, yeah.
He came into the league with
Nash. Yeah, Steve Nash. Chris Paul. Trying to think of who else. Was Mike Conley Mike Conley got drafted after him, right?
Brandon Roy,
yep.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, the West was pretty stacked at that point. So it's not unheard of for him. Allen Iverson came over to the West in 2006. Chauncey Billups replaced AI 2 years later. I mean, like Russell Westbrook got drafted towards the end of his tenure there. Like, it's understandable why somebody
Why does the West get so many guards? What's with that? It's like Jordan, like since like that. I don't know. It's interesting. It's going through all these West guards.
It's hard to and like you said, I think we go back to the coaching here now for a second. Because Jerry Sloan was such a team-oriented type of philosophy on offense, I think part of the reason why Deron wanted to be moved is because he wasn't getting the stats that he thought he needed to be an all-star. So that's just my take on that. But anyway, I find that I understand why Deron, and I even understand to an extent why Jamal aren't all-stars consistently, even though they are all-star level players.
Yeah, it is. I had to note this because we keep bringing him up. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Deron Williams was kind of surprised of the draft being third, and you know that he was drafted over Chris Paul, right?
Yeah, was it Andrew Bogut or Bargnani that year that got drafted first overall?
I think it was a European dude.
I think it was Bogut.
It was Bogut in 2005. Okay, so Bogut, Chris Paul, and Deron Williams.
No. Deron Williams was drafted over Chris Paul.
Oh yeah, that's sorry, Marvin Williams. Sorry, yeah, Andrew Bogut, Marvin Williams, Deron Williams, Chris Paul.
Yeah. I just had to mention that because I remember watching that draft and him being the big surprise. So obviously they saw something in him. Maurice, what stands out to you with these Deron Williams accolades?
This is a great comparison because both of them were so underrated for their times and their generations, and for Deron Williams to be one of the best young guards in the West, in that time, and for so long he didn't get the credit he deserved, and he kind of got it late in his career with the Nets. To be honest, because of injuries, his career didn't last that long. I mean, his prime years was really from his second year, I want to say, which is 2006 to, I want to say 2011, 2012?
2013.
2013?
Yeah, that was the last. He after 2013, he didn't average more than 14 points in a single season.
Okay,
he was 32 when he last played in the league. 32. Pretty young.
Yeah, but that's a good grab. Yeah. So he was basically a 20 and 10 guy, pretty give or take, for like 10 straight years. It's pretty impressive.
So he had a good 7 years, and we're doing a comparison. So I mean, he did something right. I mean, he was an impact player, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Maurice, tell us about Jamal Murray's teammates.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Fourth quarter, teammates.
How impressive has what he's done this year been from what he's come back from injury-wise? And is it cool to see him finally getting the national attention for as good as he has been when he's been healthy for you guys?
I mean, I think he deserves, especially because he averaged a lot. He averaged 30 points and a great percentage. And I think that's really hard to do, especially that high number of points. But not just points. I think his energy. I always say, even from the first round, his energy. He was been our best player since round one, and he's really stepping up and in that direction, like being in. Even if he doesn't make shots, this and that, but his energy is always good, and I think that's the best feeling for the guys around him. Yes, we know he can make shots, he can go for 50, but even when things doesn't go his way, he doesn't fall down. He's still into it. He's still playing. He's still fighting, and I think that's the best thing about him right now.
There was Nikola Jokic talking about his teammate Jamal Murray. Let's talk about Jamal Murray for a bit. Drafted by the Denver Nuggets in the 2016 NBA Draft, 7th overall. I'm going to start off with a nugget. That wasn't originally Denver Nuggets' pick. Does anyone know? Oh, so Lucas knows this.
Yeah, I know this. I'm going to stop. I won't say anything.
So, Master Ryan and Ben, who was the original pick? From what team?
Man, I have no clue.
Ben?
I have no clue.
Oh, I'm going to say the Sixers. I don't know why. I'm going to say that, though.
No, it was not the Sixers. It was actually
Utah.
The New York Knicks.
No, wait a second. I thought it was Utah.
No, it was the New York Knicks.
Oh, no, I'm mixing up Donovan Mitchell.
It was the Carmelo Anthony trade.
You're right.
That's right, because Knicks Twitter was going nuts during the finals. That's right.
Yes,
I remember that.
Yes. That was the last pick the Denver Nuggets gave up in the Carmelo Anthony trade to the Knicks.
Wow.
The Knicks gave up to Denver. Yes.
Sorry, no, I messed up because I was thinking of the Donovan Mitchell one where they traded away the pick that became Donovan Mitchell and they did Trey Lyles instead.
So you're saying, it's kind of like Jason Tatum would have been on the Nets. It's like that.
Yes.
The years prior, this pick became Jamal Murray. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's what happens when you trade future first round picks.
Certainly unprotected. Yeah.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about Jamal Murray's teammates. Let's start with his rookie year, 2016-2017. Teammates that we all remember. Some still play in the league today, of course. Malik Beasley.
Yep.
Wilson Chandler.
Ooh.
Journeyman.
Yep.
Kenneth Fareed.
He's in the G League still.
Really?
Playing on that Mexico City team, I think.
Danilo Gallinari.
He's still in the league. Got waived.
Gary Harris.
Still in the league.
Emmanuel Mudiay.
Not.
Jameer Nelson.
Blue Coats GM.
Blue Coats.
Yes. Nurkic.
Yep.
Mason Plumlee. This was actually a really good team.
They were a really good young team, yeah.
And a player that will go on to be the best player, maybe in franchise history, Nikola Jokic.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who's going to get number 15 retired. Is it Jokic or Carmelo Anthony when it goes up into the rafters?
I think they can do both, right?
Can they?
Yeah, I think they can because they wore it. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be because technically, think about it, right? Like,
they're both great players. One won a championship, one didn't, but one of them was a great player as well.
Mm-hmm.
Great player as well. So I asked this question for every teammate, but I think number one is too obvious. Obviously, Jokic has won most games with Jamal Murray with 294 wins. But who is number two?
Ooh, that's
with
a tough
168 wins. And the hint, I already said his name. So let me start with Ben.
Number two, I'm going to go with Gary Harris.
Okay. You're right.
I second that motion. Gary Harris.
Lucas?
I guess Gary Harris.
The answer is, well, first of all, you're all wrong.
Oh.
The answer is Will Barton.
Really?
That was my number two.
Will Barton.
He's not even in the NBA right now.
Well, yeah, but still won
related.
a lot.
Yeah, this is.
I know. I'm just saying that's crazy.
All right, so let's go to the 2019-2020 season, a.k.a. the bubble year. And let me rattle off some names from that season as well. Malik Beasley. Everyone loves this guy. Bobo.
Hey.
Bobo.
Everybody loves Bobo, man, until he's on your team. Once again, Will Barton. Torrey Craig. Jeremy Grant.
That's a good one.
Gary Harris. Paul Millsap.
Okay.
Who, spoiler alert, also played with Deron Williams.
Yeah, I was about to say, they played together for a brief
So they played together. They have a connection.
Nice.
Monte Morris. Rookie Michael Porter Jr. And, of course, once again, Nikola Jokic. This was actually, we talk about this sometimes a lot as well, roster construction. Since Jamal Murray has been with the Denver Nuggets, they've had a really good roster. This is a lot of talented players right here. Let me throw it to you guys real quick. What do you guys think about this pre-championship Denver Nuggets team? We'll start with Ben.
Yeah, it's funny, like the name, the front court, like development, and just the guys they got, and they kind of developed Jeremy Grant into like almost the max player he became.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Millsap, I think he was an all-star one year with them. Michael, and then what they have now, Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. So they seem to really like value those positions, the small forward and the power forward around Jokic. And you're right, they've never really had kind of like a, probably outside of his rookie year, they've always been a playoff team.
Yeah.
And
they've always been competitive.
Yeah, and so it's interesting. The probably because Denver it's a small market in a way, so they need to really develop well.
Yes.
And that's what stands out the most. The guards you mentioned, not so much, but the power forwards, the small forwards, the
wing
centers,
players,
really, really strong the entire time.
Yeah, Lucas.
It's interesting in the fact, and I know we're not doing Jokic this episode, but they really valued the backup center position early on. But now you look at this season, they don't really have this year and last year. They don't really have a quality one. So that's interesting. He had a really good backup for a long time in Monte Morris.
Yeah.
Now you look at it, Reggie Jackson's past his prime. It's interesting. I mean, look, this is a team that we're all very familiar with for the past, what has it been, 5-6 years? So it's not like oh, wow, I forgot about that. No, I remember most of it. So, that's...
You right?
Yeah, I agree with Lucas a lot. These players are fresh in our minds. And Ben brought up an interesting player as Jeremy Grant, who I remember distinctly him really showing up and showing out for his role when he joined Denver, knowing he bounced around. He started with the Sixers. He's part of the whole process situation, and his dad played in the NBA, obviously. But it makes me think of, okay, here's a player playing in a system with Jokic, decides to leave, right, to get his own numbers, to get his own check. He got paid, but he also got more touches and he showed off the skill that made him such a coveted player. And I think, well, if Jamal Murray ever does that, if he leaves and he's a better player than Jeremy Grant, imagine what his numbers are going to do. It's really going to balloon, considering he's in his prime unless he doesn't get hurt. But yeah, that stands out to me.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. Do the Nuggets still win a championship if they kept Jeremy Grant and never traded for Aaron Gordon? I say no.
No, I agree with you, Lucas. I think. Well, they kind of rolled through the West last year.
I think Aaron Gordon. They're similar players, but I think Aaron Gordon is because he's so physically strong. Like Grant's more lean than he is like stocky. Aaron Gordon has a little bit more muscle on him, and that's how Aaron Gordon was able to impact the playoffs because there were several series where he just
that's the matchup.
Up.
Matchup killed the Heat.
And defensively, Aaron Gordon, he's a lob threat. There's a lot of IQ stuff on the defense there. Aaron Gordon, I think, is significant. And it's all about fit, right? Yeah. And Aaron Gordon was just a better fit.
Yeah. And to move forward to the championship team, but that was a player that I wanted to highlight. Ben talked about was Aaron Gordon because they didn't develop Aaron Gordon. They traded for him. Right. And I think he was a deciding factor in them getting over the hump and winning the championship because one thing about Aaron Gordon that gets overlooked is his defense. So he really became a defensive force for that Nuggets team that needed wing defense. Jokic isn't considered one of the best, not even a good defender, actually.
Right.
But he gave them something that they really needed to get over the hump. And real quick, just to throw some names out there from the championship team, 2022-2023 team, Bruce Brown, key pivotal role players here. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Jeff Green, who's been around forever.
Uncle Jeff.
Yeah. Aaron Gordon, Bones Highland, Reggie Jackson, who Lucas mentioned, DeAndre Jordan, he got a ring. Michael Porter, and a name that some people might be familiar with, Ish Smith was the backup point guard.
Ish Smith.
The
most traveled player in NBA history.
Yep.
Yeah. And this season and last year, they also had a rookie that had an impact in the playoffs. His name is Christian Braun.
Yeah.
He's a really good player, young player. I like his game a lot. And this season, they're pretty much bringing back the same players. So let me end this by asking you guys a question. Who was the most pivotal player on that championship Denver Nuggets team? You right?
I'm going to go with, obviously not Jokic. I'm going to go with Michael Porter Jr. I think you look at his struggle. You talk about injuries. He had probably as severe an injury as Jamal Murray had. Murray had, I think, the knee injury, but Porter Jr. had a back or a spine injury, right?
Back injury.
So I think for him to come back the way he did, and to be the spot up shooter, dependable corner 3 shooter, but also a nice defender. I think, to me, he stands out as one of Murray's most pivotal teammates.
Ben?
Yeah, I'd say Aaron Gordon, to be honest, because of what we were just talking about. It made me think of like how much of a fit defensively and how they surrounded. Let's be real, Jamal Murray and Jokic aren't the best defenders, but how that team surrounded them with just good defenders and only played good defenders around them and 3-point shooters. So great roster construction. That bench was really thin. I don't know if you guys remember that. They were playing a rookie, but they lucked out with health. I mean, you're kind of seeing that with Boston this year. So I think just a really good roster construction. But yeah, Aaron Gordon, I think, is super underrated with his switchability.
Yeah. Lucas?
I'm going to agree with him. Yeah, Aaron Gordon is a difference maker. Sometimes you don't need an all-star. Sometimes you just need a star in your role, and that is exactly what Aaron Gordon has done for them, and I don't see why it wouldn't continue. So, yeah, I'm going to say Aaron Gordon by far, if we're not going with all-star players, all-star teammates.
It looks like the Jazz can get that anytime they want it.
Deron Williams to Carlos Boozer. We've been doing it all season long.
We matched from day one, and we look for each other. We have great chemistry. We talk throughout the entire game on trying to figure out ways to score on the defense or stop the defense. And every day our relationship continues to grow, and we continue to get better and better.
It clears to D. Will midcourt. Deron down the right side. Boozer, slam dunk. Oh, baby. Save that one for the highlight film.
I think we just clicked. We've had a good chemistry between us. As a guy I look for a lot. He's a great low post scorer. He can hit the jumper. He can do a lot of things with the basketball.
Deron down right side. He'll bounce it low to Boozer. He's there. Slam dunk. Brightest Boozer.
All right, so let's get to Deron Williams, drafted number 3 overall in the 2005 NBA draft, sandwiched in between Marvin Williams and future Hall of Famer Chris Paul. Coached by future Hall of Famer, may he rest in peace, Jerry Sloan. 2005-2006 was his rookie year for the Utah Jazz. All right, so let's get into Deron Williams' teammates. Once again, he came into the league just like Jamal Murray. Came into the league with a pretty good roster. Carlos Boozer. Remember this name, guys. Matt Harpring.
Yes, I do. Matt Harpring,
I mean,
man.
how could you not?
All right. Chris Humphries.
Oh, wow.
I remember Chris Humphries as being a really good rebounder.
I remember him on the Nets. I
remember him on the Kardashians.
Yeah, that too.
That too. I wanted to the basketball, but I remember that yet. Kanye West's favorite basketball player.
Not really.
Mehmet Okur.
I love him. He was one of the first stretch bigs that I've ever seen in the NBA.
He was an all-star, right?
He was an all-star. Yep, he was before his time. Yeah, he was launching threes like crazy, which worked.
And a player that I also thought was kind of underrated, Andre Kirilenko, AK-47. Yeah, he was considered one of the better defenders of his time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was his rookie year. This was a good roster. Now they got a little bit better in the 06-07 season. Ronnie Brewer.
Hey, shout out to last pod that we did because we talked about his dad real quick in the Larry Bird draft. Yep.
Yes, we did. And here's a funny one I just realized. He played with his teammate, D. Brown.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Really?
On the 06-07 team, D. Brown was on the roster.
Wow, I did not know that.
They drafted him as a rookie. Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher,
I remember Derek Fisher taking a break from
He got paid. He
wanted to get paid, and then he wanted to be he was like the mentor to D. Will, and then when it was time for him to go back and win a championship with Lakers, he went back.
Yeah. And this year they also had Paul Millsap, who was the connection between the two comparisons we're doing today. Paul Millsap.
Rookie Paul Millsap pushing Carlos Boozer out of Utah.
That's a good connection because it like this early prime and the end of his prime. Yeah, that's a good connector.
Now I want to talk about the 07-08 team, and I have a question at the end of this one for you guys. The 07-08 Jazz team pretty much had the same roster, although they added Kyle Korver. Who else they had? Jaron Collins, Ronnie Brewer, Carlos. That was pretty much the same team. But I do have a stat for you guys. And I asked this question because they were
Weren't they the 1 seed in the West that year?
They were the 1 seed in it says Northwest Division.
Okay, so they were top in their division. Okay.
How many wins did that 07-08 team win?
How many wins?
You only get
over-under. Over-under.
I really do over-unders. So this is time I could do one. Over-under on how many wins that 07-08 Utah Jazz team won. 53.
I'm going to go... I'll go over. Over.
Ben?
Oh, definitely over.
Lucas?
I'll say over as well.
All you guys are right. They won 54-28. This was a tough Western Conference at that time. That was pretty impressive. Let me ask you a question to you guys. What's the most memorable teammate you guys remember from that early Utah Jazz team? I'm going to start with Ben.
Definitely Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer was a second-round pick, and he became an all-star and like a really good player. I think he was even an all-NBA player. And he was another guy who was overlooked on his even college team. I remember he played with Shane Battier, right?
Yeah.
Was he on that team? Yeah.
He was an Arizona guy? Okay.
No, they were all Duke.
Oh, Duke.
Yeah,
right.
But Carlos Boozer was on this super team. I think it was Jay Williams, this super team, like all NBA players, all first-round picks, and he was second-round pick, and how he was probably his best teammate. And they also kind of ran, like you were talking about the segue from Malone to Stockton. They became like the new Malone Stockton a little bit. So
yeah.
Lucas?
Look, so at that age, I was just getting into basketball. I was really focused on big men because I was like 5'6", 5'7" in middle school, which at my middle school made me the second tallest person in the school. So I was a big fan of both Boozer and Mehmet Okur, but I was really a fan of Mehmet Okur.
Really?
Well, because, okay, here's the reason why. You guys know that I'm a West Virginia fan. Around the same time, Kevin Pittsnoggle, stretch big, was playing at WVU. I'm seeing a stretch big man in the NBA, which makes me think, oh, Kevin has a chance to get in. Never actually happened, but seeing a guy that was legit, I think he was a legit 7-footer or 6'10", I can't remember exactly, but he was a big body, shooting threes. I think he was also he was one of the Turkish players. He was part of that infusion of Turkish players that came in the NBA. But like, yeah, no, that's crazy. Also, LeBron James missed out on having Carlos Boozer as a teammate. The Cavs really fumbled that bad.
The Drew Gooden trade, right?
I think so, because I think Boozer was going to say that he wasn't going to stay anyway, right?
I can't remember, but
I can't remember. Yeah. I just know that Boozer got to Utah and he was on LeBron's rookie team, and that could have been a fun 1-2 punch. But anyway,
yeah. You right?
Yeah, I think the Boozer connection is fascinating. I wasn't as much into Mehmet Okur. I knew of him, obviously, but I think the Boozer thing, the comparison of him and Malone, is interesting. And I think both of those players, they felt that shadow of those two Hall of Fame players and the expectations. And I didn't know, Ben, that Boozer was a second-round pick. So that's something I learned. And then he obviously played in the Olympics. So the player that I wanted to mention, Maurice, was AK-47, just because I like saying his name. That's just that's probably one of the coolest nicknames under the radar.
It is,
and it fits so perfectly. But he was a fun player to watch, and I don't remember how many years they played together, but he was definitely one of those players that was helpful toward those playoff runs.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to his 5 years with the Utah Jazz. He got traded to at the time, New Jersey Nets. So I'm going to move on to the 2011-2012 New Jersey Nets team. Now, when Deron Williams got to this Nets team, they were pretty bad. But this was the lockout shortened year. That team had Gerald Green, Chris Humphries once again, Brook Lopez.
Rookie Brook Lopez, right?
Third year.
Okay.
Third year. Gerald Wallace.
Ooh.
And I actually like Gerald. I was a fan of Gerald Wallace's game. He's a good dunker. Sheldon Williams. They actually had 3 Williamses on that team. Jordan Williams, Shane Williams, Sheldon Williams. But I wanted to highlight this season because this was the lockout shortened season. And Deron Williams actually played for a Turkish team. I think Ben mentioned that earlier. Biseskis. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, pardon me. Deron Williams played on a Turkish team with, these are two names you all going to know. Carlos Arroyo.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, the guard, yeah.
And Adam Morrison.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Was he still in the league at that point?
That's not the league.
Was he
another
still
league.
in the NBA at that point?
No, this is the end of his career. I think he played for the Lakers and someone else, and then he played international.
I thought you were going to say Allen Iverson because he played for a team over there, I think, around the same time.
He did, actually.
Yeah.
But it was the year before. It was the year before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on to the 2013-2014 New Jersey or Brooklyn Nets at this point, where they acquired Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce, yeah.
And they wanted to go all in on a championship with superstars. And little did they realize was that Kevin Garnett was at the end of his road. I think it was like 36, 37 at that point.
He was pretty old.
Yeah. So they had Kevin Garnett, Joe Johnson, who's a really good player, still a good player. Joe Johnson, as we call him, ISO Joe, was a really good player. They had also they acquired Karolinko. Sean Livingston was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke Lopez, Paul Pierce, Mason Plumlee.
Wow, they went all in.
Hey, that's another crossover. Mason played with the Nuggets too.
Yeah.
That's right. There you go, Lucas.
Yeah.
There you go.
Forgot about
crossover.
that.
And Jason Terry.
The Jet.
This was an all-in team, sadly for them, and luckily for the Boston Celtics later on, who got those picks.
Yeah.
This didn't work out.
That was like the Karl Malone Lakers team of the East. That is quite the end of the career squad. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were that they were pretty invested.
They were just too old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to play defense?
You know who was the GM of that team at the time?
Billy King.
Billy King and Bobby Marks. They were the two top people in charge there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy fumbled the bag because they could have had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. That was a bad. I mean, who knew? That they went all in.
They were trying to capitalize on Williams while they still could. It made sense. They traded a lot to get Williams to the.
They had a young Lopez who was an all-star. Yeah, I get it.
And moving forward a little bit, I want to ask you guys. Before I do that, I want to ask you guys one more question about the Brooklyn Nets. What could have been if everybody was healthy and everybody played up to their potential with the Nets? Do you guys think they could have won a championship? Deron Williams, Paul Pierce. Mind you, this was in the era of LeBron. I think at this point he was with the Heat. So you guys.
They were too old. They were too old.
I'll let Lucas go first. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ben. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, we said the same thing. I'm completely agreeing with you.
Yeah, they were too old. If they were prime versions of themselves, absolutely, but they weren't. Even if they were healthy, KG was playing center at that point half the time, and then AK-47 was coming off the bench, but honestly, he was washed. Paul Pierce was more of a sixth man now than anything. By the way, Paul Pierce really transitioned into that role well. Joe Johnson was a little bit past his prime, but he was still playing well enough. But they didn't have depth on top of that. They traded Jason Terry to get those. Yeah, they had no depth.
I just want to say that they were doomed the moment they made the cover of Sports Illustrated, because typically,
really,
yeah, when teams look at the Sixers from 2017 or 18.
Oh yeah,
Jimmy Butler, they made the cover. I'm like, oh, this is not a good sign. It's always like a jinx. So I know it's kind of superstitious, but the point is they were over the hill and they could not compete in the East with LeBron.
They would have had. It's interesting thing about the lineup because people forget that the Brooke Lopez we know now, he was like a legit all-star center and he was young. I feel like if they would have built around just Joe, Deron Williams, and Lopez and added a younger. Yeah, that Paul Pierce thing, that was just a bad move.
Roster construction.
Yeah. You can't blame the Celtics for taking off that offer.
Because think about the athleticism with Miami they would have had to compete against. And then you forget, Toronto was
Toronto's
Lowry
up
and
and
DeRozan.
coming.
There were some young athletic teams, and they were
Atlanta.
dragging out 37-year-old. Yeah, no.
So
And the Bulls run. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so let me wrap this up real quick. He also made a stint with the Dallas Mavericks. He played with Dirk Nowitzki towards the end of his career. Zaza Pachulia, JaVale McGee, David Lee, Wesley Matthews, JJ Barea. And then he went on to his last season in the NBA. He tried to ring chase, and nothing wrong with that. He went on to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who really didn't have a prominent role in their team. They went to the finals, that 2017 finals against the Kevin Durant Warriors, Steph Curry Warriors. They lost. That was pretty much the end for Deron Williams' career. Now that we set up the debate with all the facts on Jamal Murray and Deron Williams, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion. It's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform, ready to check out your takes. Chime in on our Instagram at NBA_NowAndThen_pod, on Twitter at NBA_NowAndThen, and on our YouTube channel, NBA Now and Then.
All right, everyone, it's been a blast, but until next time, I'm Uriah with NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons with Maurice, Lucas, and Ben. Peace.
Have a good day.
Later.
See ya.